Peter Glidden here, bringing you another live episode of Fire Your MD Now. To talk to me in the second segment of today's show, call me at 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Of course, that's a toll-free number, 866-582-9933. Now, if I was an MD and there was an outbreak, let's say I live in Chicago, right, and there's Lake Michigan right there. Now, let's say there was all of a sudden an outbreak of frogs in Lake Michigan, and they all had an extra leg coming out of their forehead, all right? Everybody's horrified. Oh, we've got millions of frogs now, and they all have an extra fifth leg, and it's coming right out of their forehead. Now, if I was an MD, here's how I would approach that situation. First thing I would do is I would send in a team of surgeons to deal with the leg coming out of the forehead of the frog. They would be specialized surgeons. I'd have a whole team of them figuring out, quick and easy, down and dirty, inexpensive surgical methods to cut the extra leg off of the forehead of the frog, right? It's the first thing I would do. Second thing that I would do is I would undertake a 10-year study, a multi-million-dollar 10-year study, in order to develop a drug which inhibited the biochemical pathway which led to formation of the fifth leg coming out of the forehead of the frog. That's what I would do if I was an MD, because that's their point of view. Now, as a naturopathic physician, a holistic physician, I would clean up the toxic waste being dumped into the lake, which made the genetic mutation so that the frog grew a leg out of his forehead. You see the difference? This is what the MDs do because they don't know any better. They can't help themselves, ladies and gentlemen. And when it comes to your health, it sounds funny when we're talking about frogs, but when it comes to our health, it's anything but funny. Because as we have been going down the road, paying attention to the advice levied on us by our MDs, our trusty MDs, our health has gone where in a handbasket. Under the MD's supervision, obesity has skyrocketed, Alzheimer's has skyrocketed, autism has skyrocketed, heart disease has remained unchanged. After almost $1 trillion of cancer research, cancer stats remain the same. And the leading cause of death in the United States are MD-directed therapeutics, and the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States are therapies delivered by your MD, medical treatment. And we put up with this nonsense because we don't know any better. Well, on today's program, we're starting a series of health tutorials wherein I will outline step-by-step the naturopathic, holistic, science-based, clinically verified, tried-and-true methods for health recovery through medical nutrition. So let's get started. On today's show, we're going to talk about the relationship between the 90 essential nutrients, specifically the minerals, and your overall health. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about vitamins. Wednesday, we're going to talk about amino acids. Thursday, essential fatty acids. And Friday, antioxidants. And then next week, we're going to get into good food, bad food, detoxification procedures, etc., etc., etc. So you really want to pay attention to this and next week's program, because I'm going to offer you insight, a little window into the world of holistic medicine to give you pragmatic understanding of what the heck is going on and what you can do about it right now. So the basic naturopathic holistic philosophy of healing is thus: the human body has a God-given ability to fix itself. The human body wants to fix itself. The human body knows how to fix itself. And most of the time, the human body can fix itself. Now, there are conditions which you can't recover from. There are stresses which will break a part of the body no matter how strong it is, but these are rare and exceptions to the rule. There was a kryptonite could get Superman, right? There are certain amounts of stress that the body, I don't care how well nutrified or how strong you are, that's going to negatively affect your body. But those are the exceptions, not the rule. In order for the human body to be able to fix itself, here's what's necessary. The human body needs 90 essential nutrients. It needs the raw materials necessary in order to maintain its equilibrium, its equipoise, and its health. It needs 90 essential nutrients. You also need a certain amount of antioxidants for anti-cancer action and for also anti-inflammatory action. And antioxidants really are one of the main tools that the body uses to increase its lifespan. It increases its lifespan by knocking down inflammation. We need to put in place procedures, or we need to make sure that the elimination systems of the body are working full-time, that the urinary system and the digestive system and the colon are working, that the body is getting rid of the bad stuff as nature intended it to. So we need to support and promote the body's nutrition, we need to support and promote the body's antioxidant capacity, and we need to support and promote the body's ability to get rid of things. Now, when we do all those three things, the only other thing necessary is to clean up the diet and make sure we are not unwittingly pouring bad food, bad gasoline, so to speak, into the tank of the human body. So we need nutrients, we need antioxidants, we need to support and promote healthy elimination, and then we need to clean up the diet. And when we do these four things, the human body will rally, and most of the time it fixes itself. There are over 900 illnesses, common things like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, fibromyalgia, arthritis, osteoporosis, rheumatoid arthritis, attention deficit disorder, depression, which are caused by nutrient deficiencies. Linus Pauling said it best: when somebody dies, they die of a nutrient deficiency disease, specifically a mineral deficiency disease, and it's the minerals that we're going to talk about today. There are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs, and in the longevity culture we refer to these 90 nutrients as the mighty 90. These break down as follows. 60 of the 90 are minerals, 16 are vitamins, 12 are amino acids, and 2 are essential fatty acids. Now, there are some scientists, some people in the medical community that believe there are 3 essential fatty acids. So the jury is out as to whether there are, in fact, 90 or 91 essential nutrients. But the mighty 90 rolls off the tongue easier than the mighty 91, so we're sticking with 90 right now. In any event, 60 of the 90, that's 2/3. 2/3 of your nutrient needs are minerals, right? 2/3. These are things like calcium and selenium and phosphorus and iron and zinc. And they're also peculiar minerals, things that you've never even heard of, like molybdenum and americanium, right? Europium. These are rare earth elements in addition to the more common minerals like calcium and magnesium and phosphorus. There are 60 of these minerals which need to go down the hatch every day. The only problem with minerals is the only person that can make minerals is God. Plants can't make them. Animals can't make them. So if your cow is eating grass that's grown in soil that's calcium deplete, the cow's milk is going to be calcium deplete because the cow's body can't magically create calcium. If your lettuce is grown in soil that doesn't have any selenium in it, there's no selenium in your lettuce. Why? Because the selenium in the lettuce got to be in the lettuce from the soil. Lettuce can't make selenium. Lettuce can't make minerals. If plants could make minerals, we could bioengineer lettuce to make gold and we'd all be rich. The minerals are either in the soil that the stuff is growing in or it's not. And most of the time, it's not. Minerals exist in the soil like the chocolate in chocolate ripple ice cream. Minerals exist in veins. You know, like the miner 49ers back in the day, they're digging away for months, they're digging away for years, and they got nothing, like Eucorn Cornelius, right? Nothing. And then all of a sudden, eureka! They strike a vein, right? They find gold because it was right there, but 3 feet to the left or 3 feet to the right, there's no gold. But it was right there, right? When you find it, you find it. What's the same for all 60 minerals? This leads to the startling conclusion that unless you are supplementing with minerals, specifically with minerals, you are deficient in minerals because your food, by definition, cannot, it is impossible for your food to contain all 60 minerals that it needs in order to stay healthy, because there is no place on God's green earth where all 60 minerals exist in the soil. It's a fool's errand to try to believe this. You want to roll those dice? Go right ahead. The deck is stacked against you. unless you are supplementing with a high-quality, bioavailable mineral supplement, it is only a matter of time until your body runs out of a mineral. So it runs out of calcium, and you get a low backache, you get really bad menstrual cramps, you get high blood pressure, you get vertigo, you get ringing in the ears, you get a lazy eye, you get tic de la rue, you get Bell's palsy, you get bad muscle cramps, you get arthritis, you get osteoporosis. All of these illnesses are related to not enough calcium, not enough magnesium, not enough of a bunch of other minerals, but really not enough calcium and not enough magnesium. So it's only a matter of time, if you are not supplementing with minerals, before your body runs out of minerals. So then something breaks, you get sick, you get high blood pressure, you go to your MD. Remember, the person that wants to do the surgical procedure to remove the fifth leg from the forehead of the frog, the person that wants to do $10 million of research in order to figure out a pharmaceutical drug that can block the biochemical pathway that led to the leg being there in the first place. This is their mindset. You bring your body, which is suffering from a calcium deficiency, to a medical professional who has no training in calcium deficiencies, no education in calcium deficiencies, no appreciation for calcium deficiencies. And for them, it's all drugs and surgery all the time. So what are they going to do? They're going to throw a drug at it, and you're going to go from bad to worse. They might manage your symptoms, but you're going to get side effects from the medication that you get, and then every 3-4 years they're going to need to change the medication or up the dose because it's going to stop working. Why? Because they never fixed the problem. MDs rarely fix the problem when it comes to chronic health. I can say they never fix the problem when it comes to a chronic health condition. They can fix it sometimes when it's acute. They can help your body recover from a burn, recover from a laceration, recover from a bullet wound, right? They can stitch up the bleeding artery. They can help you in that regard. But when it comes to a chronic illness, it is a fool's errand to bring your body to anybody who has an MD after their name. You need minerals. You need vitamins. You need amino acids. You need essential fatty acids. So one of the preeminent nutritional supplements that everybody on this planet needs to take, and certainly the nutritional supplement that sets longevity apart from every other vitamin company, I think the last 30 seconds or so got cut off. So let me wrap up the mineral segment by saying this. Everybody is minerally deficient, right? Because everybody is expecting and anticipating to meet all of their nutrient needs just from eating from the 4 food groups, and that's a fool's errand. You can't do it. That's impossible. So your mineral needs are 2/3 of your essential nutrient needs. 60 out of 90, that's 2/3. It's a gigantic chunk of your essential nutrients. The longevity company has one product. It's called plant-derived minerals. It's $19 a bottle. $19 a bottle. This product gives you all of the essential minerals that your body needs. They're in plant-derived colloidal form, saturated, concentrated just below the saturation index. It is an extremely jam-packed mineral soup. And when you start to take this supplement, when you take this supplement even for 7 days, you will notice a difference. Because there are thousands, millions actually, probably billions of enzymatic activities happening in your body every day which demand minerals. And so when you become minerally deficient, you get used to running on, 4 cylinders instead of 16. You get used to underfunctioning. You habituate to a negative experience of the world because you just don't know any better. So if you think that you're skeptical about vitamins, and you're not skeptical about vitamins, because if you were skeptical, you never would have gone to the MD in the first place. You're just closed-minded, let's be honest. But, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. So if you really want to see for yourself whether or not this stuff works, well, call your longevity representative. Call one of my associates. We have a toll-free number. If you're listening to this podcast, if you'd like help with placing an order or with product information, give us a call. That toll-free number is 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. And order 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. It's $19. Take 1 ounce twice a day. I don't care how much you weigh. Take 1 ounce of plant-derived minerals twice a day. If you're 100 pounds, take 1 ounce once a day. If you're over 100 pounds, take 1 ounce twice a day. For 14 days. And if you don't feel a noticeable, measurable, positive change in some aspect of your health, I'll eat my hat. Because as God is my witness, you have gotten used to being minerally deficient. Now, look, these products come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you've got nothing to lose. Well, you know, maybe $2, $3, $4 because I think there's a restocking fee or something. So if you buy the stuff for $19 and you don't like it, you're probably going to get $15 back, something like that. So really, you know, what do you got to risk? $4? I spent $4 on a Starbucks coffee this morning, for goodness sake. Yeah, I know, I should have my head examined. I should. But I was at the airport and I was in a rush, right? So sue me. Buy a bottle of the plant-derived minerals. Or we've got the same stuff. It's with a cherry flavor. It's put a little cherry juice in it and a little orange juice in it in order to untangify the minerals, because straight minerals are, you know, very astringent. It's kind of a developed taste. Like Dr. Wallach says, the cherry mints are for wimps, you know, but I use the cherry mints. That was my first blush with longevity, the cherry mints. And once I experienced what that did to my body, I was all in. The proof of the pudding with medical nutrition, quite frankly, the proof of the pudding of any medical treatment. I don't care if you go to a shaman in the rainforest of Brazil, the Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. Wallach or Dr. Glidden, a chiropractor or an acupuncturist or anybody, a faith healer. The philosophy, you know, it matters that you have some type of an understanding of what we are attempting to do and some type of an intellectual grasp on the concepts which lead us to this determination. But really, of all things considered, where the rubber hits the road is results. And everybody who tries a bottle of the plant-derived minerals will experience something positive. Well, I can't say everybody because some people are thick. But my experience is the vast majority of people who try the plant-derived minerals come back for more, because it's the first time in their life their body has been completely mineralized, and that's a game changer. Ladies and gentlemen, give it a try. One bottle of the plant-derived minerals sold by Longevity will get you on the medical nutrition train like nothing else. And then once you've got your foot in that door, it's only a matter of time before we enroll you into the possibility of the other 30 essential nutrients. You've already got 60 of them covered. Those 60 made you feel so great. Imagine what's going to happen when you dial in the other third. And then imagine what's going to happen when you increase your body's antioxidants. And then imagine what's going to happen when you stop putting crappy food into your body. Ladies and gentlemen, the sky's the limit. Myasthenia gravis. Carol, welcome aboard.
Hi, thank you. I was calling. My mom was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis about 15 years ago. And she had, you know, the typical, she had the medicine and everything the neurologist gave her, and that didn't work. She went into a crisis where she was stopped breathing and went on a ventilator, and then they did a surgery to remove her thymus gland, and that sparked her into a remission. And she's been off medicine except for one immune suppressant drug that they gave her, like for about 13 years now. But she's recently started having symptoms reoccurring, and I just wondered if you had any holistic advice for that.
Well, thank you so much, and I'll answer that question. I'd really like to get into this with you, but I have a question for you before we start. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. How come your mom's not calling me?
I don't know. I always listen to your show, and we started telling her about your show, and they're very old school when it comes to that kind of thing, but they're starting to really open up to, you know, new and different opportunities. They started, they ordered some of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and started taking that, and they're slowly getting their feet wet. But
all right, it's an interesting thing, really, to think about and to observe, really, just kind of from a sociological position. You know, and this is why one of my favorite sayings, and it's true, by Max Planck, who was a very famous physicist, you know, he said that science progresses one funeral at a time. And it's the same with generation to generation, you know. Each generation tends to believe the stuff that they grew up with, even when the stuff that they grew up with fails. And most people in your parents' generation, you know, people who are over 60 years of age right now, even for goodness sake, I would say even people that are over 40 years of age right now, they've really been enrolled in, the allopathic MD is king medical model, and it's really a hard nut for them to crack. But what gets people to crack is consistent failure, right? I mean, you know, failure after failure after failure after failure, and then we get a little bit of a lift. You know, they move in and remove the thymus gland, for goodness sake, and there's a little bit of a bounce, but not really. And then the thing comes back, and then really it's a sad state of affairs, but most people of that generation only come rolling around to us when it's the 11th hour, you know, and everything else has failed, and they kind of feel, oh, holy smokes, I got nothing to lose. But it's interesting to me that even when the MD therapeutics fail, even when the MD therapeutics harm, even when the MD therapeutics kill, people will still pay their monthly health insurance premiums. And that just blows my mind, that people would still continue to give money to an industry to gain access to an industry even when their treatments don't work. But nonetheless, maybe that's a lecture for another time. Myasthenia gravis, for the listening audience, is a neuromuscular disorder, and it affects voluntary muscles. These are the muscles that are under your conscious control. You know, like you think about moving your arm and your arm moves, or you want to take a deep breath and you breathe. That's kind of a bad example of breathing, because some of breathing is not inside of your conscious control, but some of it is. So when you have myasthenia gravis, the muscles that are under voluntary control start to fail. You know, you'll tell your arm to move and it doesn't, or it only moves a little bit, or, you know, you go to try to pick up that bowling ball and you're just not strong enough to do it, even though really you could have picked it up yesterday, no problem. Now, the MDs have no clue as to what causes this, and typically, when MDs have no clue as to what causes something, their fallback position is it's either genetic or it's autoimmune, right? That's it. They have no idea what's causing it. Oh, it's genetic. Oh, it's autoimmune. And then we genuflect at their altar and give them $500 more just for opening their mouths and deigning to speak to us, right? Now, autoimmunity is a fool's errand in this regard, and this is how MDs have classified myasthenia gravis. They consider it an autoimmune disease because they have come late to the party. When you go in and start poking around somebody's body who has myasthenia gravis, you see these things in the blood which you consider antibodies. Maybe they're really antibodies, maybe they're not. But you consider that the body has created the antibody and that it was the antibody that caused the problem to happen in the first place. From our point of view, the antibody only shows up after the illness is full-blown. And when the MDs come late to the party, you know, they see that, everybody's drunk, and they see a bottle, a case of beer in the refrigerator, and they therefore assume that it's the beer that caused it, when what they didn't know was that everybody before the party was, throwing down tequila shots. They've completely misinterpreted the situation because they have come late to the party. So we believe that the antibodies, if they even are antibodies, and quite frankly, there's, this area needs more research, are produced as a result of the disease, not as a cause of the disease. That's a very interesting thing to talk about. We believe that these things in the blood that the MDs are calling autoantibodies are not the cause of the disease, but they are the effects of the disease, or what the body is doing in order to clean up a mess. They are produced by the body in order to clean up damaged, decayed, rotting tissue that's been present. Why is there damaged, decayed, rotting tissue? Because the body doesn't have enough nutrition. So you don't give the body enough nutrition, things start to decay. When the decay gets to be a certain level of decrepitude, the tissue starts to rot. When tissue starts to rot, the body throws in the sanitation department to clean up the rot, and voila, you've got all these antibodies that are mopping up the mess. And MDs believe that these antibodies cause the problem when in fact they are trying to fix the problem. So myasthenia gravis, from our position, as is any autoimmune disease, is what we need to do in order to support and promote the health of the body, in the face of an MD diagnosis of autoimmune myasthenia gravis is number 1, fire the MD. Number 2, fire the MD. Number 3, fire the MD. And number 4, clean up your diet. Your mom, you, your brother, your sisters, your father, me, everybody on this planet needs to be avoiding the 10 bad foods. That's step number 1, avoid the 10 bad foods. And again, you can get that list for free by going to fireyourmdnow.com and opting in for my email list, and we'll send you the 10 bad food list for free. We just email it to you automatically. So that's a given, and that's step number 1. Number 2, we need to provide the body with the raw materials that it needs in order to fix itself. So that's 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. So that's easy. 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight. And because this is a musculoskeletal condition, we're going to give the body extra musculoskeletal stuff, right? So the muscles are made out of amino acids and sulfur-bearing molecules. So in order to get the amino acids, the product that we use is called HGH, youth factor. That's like human growth hormone, but it doesn't stand for human growth hormone. It's HGH, youth factor. Get 1 bottle. If your mother's under 200 pounds, just get 1 bottle a month. If she's over 250 pounds, get 2 bottles a month of the HGH, and she wants to take 6 of those at night before bed, 6 of the HGH at night before bed. And lastly, I want your mom to be eating lots and lots of eggs. Lots and lots of eggs, because eggs are the protein standard that all other proteins are compared to, and eggs have a tremendous amount of cholesterol in them. Cholesterol is important for the neurological system. The neurological system is implicated with myasthenia gravis because the muscles, the nerve signals to the muscles are being impeded, and the muscles themselves are being impeded. So we use the protein that's in the chicken egg to help support and promote the health of the muscle itself, and we use the cholesterol that's in the chicken egg to help support and promote the health of the nerve that feeds the muscle. And we use the HGH, and I would also throw in, just because this is a bad problem, right? We want to get on the other side of this as quickly as possible, if it's possible. Glucogel. I would take 1 glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if she's 150 pounds, she gets 15 glucogel a day. If she's 210 pounds, she gets 21 glucogel a day, and you'd cut that up. If, for instance, if she's taking 15 glucogel a day, it would be 5 with breakfast, 5 with lunch, 5 with dinner, okay? So we're going to do the glucogel. We're going to do the HGH. We're going to do the Healthy Start Pack, and we're going to do the selenium. She's going to eliminate the 10 bad foods from her diet. You can download that list for free by opting into my email list, and I'd like to see her do that for 90 days. Do that program for 90 days. And most people who have this condition, when they go on a medical nutrition program, experience slow and steady positive improvement over time. Usually within 4 weeks, if you're a woman, you're going to feel something shift. Now remember, this is not a myasthenia gravis program. This is a health recovery program for your mother. This condition is designed to support and promote the health of her body. And, this is a holistic thing. So she wants to look to see, when she's on this program, what happens to her mood, her energy, her sleep, her digestion, her elimination, and her musculoskeletal stuff, right? So don't just be paying attention to the symptoms induced by myasthenia gravis, because this is a holistic phenomenon. Now, Carol, Dr. Glidden has the tendency to just talk and talk and talk and not let anybody else get a word in edgewise. So I'm going to give it up to you now. Does that make sense? And do you have any questions about it?
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I've heard, you recommend stuff like this to other people on your show. The only thing is, right now, she is having a lot of problems swallowing, so she started taking the medicine that they prescribe. It's called Mestinon for that. And she really, doesn't want to have to take that, because she hasn't had to take that in so many years. And, she's worried that if she gets back on it, her body will just continue to get weaker, and she'll need more and more to stay
Well, that's why she needs. Yeah, you're right, and she's right. But that's why she needs to march in with the medical nutrition right away. And the good news is, I mean, I have to sit down and calculate, but most of the stuff that I just recommended, half of the stuff that I just recommended she take is in liquid form. So it's going to be relatively easy for her to swallow this stuff. And the capsules, if it's a problem, you can just open the capsule up and put it into a little smoothie and have her swallow it. So I don't see any problem at all getting this stuff down the hatch. And once she starts to get this stuff down the hatch and feed her body appropriately, you should see things like the ability to swallow get better, her muscle tone get better, her ability to take a deep breath get better, her energy, her mood, her appetite. You should see it all brighten up. Just change her diet immediately and get these nutritional supplements into her body as quickly as possible. Call me back in 4 weeks with a report. Indianapolis, Indiana, tonight, the 27th day of August, 2012. Tonight, the 27th day of August in 2012. Starting at 7 o'clock, the lecture begins. The sign-up registration starts at 6 o'clock. So from 7 o'clock tonight until 9 or 10, we usually go later because people have tons of questions. I'm going to be giving a free health lecture in Indianapolis at the Embassy Suites on Vincennes Road. For specific information about that, just go to the events page at my website, fireyourmdnow.com. If you've got friends or family in Indiana, give them a heads up. Have them come on out to the lecture. We're going to have a lot of fun here in Indianapolis tonight. I think we have time for one, maybe two more phone calls. We're going to go right to the phones right now and talk to Vincent, who's calling in with a question about dialysis. Vincent, you're live with Dr. Glidden. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Hello, Vincent. How can I help?
Hi. I was calling because I'm a kidney dialysis patient. I've been doing dialysis since I was about 19, and I'm 35 now. And I just really don't feel like this is just the end for me.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of, they consider it plantar fasciitis in my feet.
Yeah.
I recently got a staph infection from my dialysis unit.
Yeah.
And it almost killed me. And
yeah,
I'm still having body pain from it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
it's frustrating, isn't it?
Yes, very much.
Man, I can feel your pain. Well, look, let me tell you this about that, okay? Number one, you don't have a bad kidney because you have kidneys. You don't get a bad kidney because you have a voodoo curse, and you don't have a bad kidney because you've been cursed by God, all right? My colleague, Dr. Wallach, from 1970 to 1982, was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research. That's a lot. He did 26,000 autopsies. 26,000 autopsies. When you do that much boots on the ground research, you get a clue. And what he discovered, doing so many autopsies, was that most of the time when there's kidney failure, the kidneys themselves are fine. That the problem isn't the kidney. The problem most of the time is peripheral arterial damage to the kidney, which means that the blood vessels going into the kidney, and actually the blood vessels inside the kidney, get clogged up. Kind of like the drain in your sink getting clogged with hair and with the goop, the water's going to back up. And when that clog is persistent for long enough, the kidney starts to malfunction, and then that's a problem, because if your body can't make urine, you're going to die. And, dialysis is good kind of a stopgap. But what we recommend to all dialysis patients, what we recommend to anybody who has any type of a kidney dysfunction, is medical nutrition. Now, why? Because, look, our position is that the human body knows how to fix itself. The human body wants to fix itself. And you got nothing to lose, man. Because from our point of view, most of the time, kidney failure is caused by peripheral arterial disease of the kidney and or oxidative damage to inside the kidney itself. All of these things have their roots in not enough nutrition. So while you're on dialysis, and thank God that, they put you on dialysis, because there aren't a million Dr. Wallachs in this country or Dr. Gliddens in this country. If there were, you might have been able to avoid dialysis in the first place. But, there's no use crying over spilled milk. We got to move from where we are right now, so we're going to start to bring your body back with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, going to clean up your diet, we're going to keep our fingers crossed, and then we're going to see what the heck happens. And I love helping people on dialysis. I love helping people with high blood pressure. And I love helping people who have blood sugar issues, type 1 or type 2 diabetes. Because these people are monitored all the time. And when medical nutrition starts to kick in, the numbers get better. Blood pressure gets better. Blood sugars get better. The kidney numbers get better on the blood work. So it's a really easy thing to see. So here's what I would recommend you do for 90 days, Vincent. We're coming up against the clock here, so I'm going to have to rattle this off. All right, so here we go. And if I don't get through this all the way, just give my consultants a call at 855. Actually, I'm going to have you call them because we are going to run out of time. Let me grab that number for you right away. It is 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Give Ashley a call right now at 855-347-3696, and she'll hook you up with a 90-day health recovery program. You see what happens. Man, I think you're going to love how you feel. Ladies and gentlemen, come see me in Indianapolis tonight. If you can't, I'll be back here tomorrow where we're going to do segment 2 about minerals in our quest to educate ourselves about good health. I'll talk to you then.